All right, so we're on question 58, 59, and 60, more or less the same principle. So we'll go ahead and get that. Let's start that. I have circled that there, that's all right. So the question says, determine the condition of the airplane. Basically, we're trying to figure out if it's underweight or overweight. And we'll get closer to that point. So it gives us some information. It gives us the pilot and co-pilot, passengers, baggage, fuel, but it doesn't give us the overall weight of the empty weight of the plane with oil, which is given in the chart there, and it's given to us as 2010. In this whole, if you look in here, everything is given us in the charts. We have moments, but in this, they're all, if you notice, well here, in the empty weight data, see, although I blocked it here when circling, it says out of or over 100. So keep in mind, everything needs to be over 100 when you give your moments, because if not, this number will be an extremely big number. So that's why they have it as over 100. All right, keeping that in mind, let's go ahead and get started. We need to make our own data set. So I'll make it, we will draw it, I will write it here. So we need to write the weight, our own weight, and our own moment. All right, so the first thing we have here is we have our we'll write this. We have our pilot and co-pilot. The weight given is 375 pounds. That's fine. Then we have our passengers. Our passengers, 245 pounds. That's fine. We don't need to change anything. Then we have baggage. Baggage is at 65 pounds. That can stay. Then we have fuel. The fuel given is 70 gallons. That needs to change. So we know that 70 gallons per gallon is 6 pounds. So we just have to multiply 70 times 6. And that will be, when we finish doing that, that'll be 420. So we can just write 420 here. What also is missing is the empty weight. So I'll write empty weight here. Or empty weight with oil. I'll put empty weight with oil. And that is 2010. 2110. So 2110. All right, that's done. Now we have to do the corresponding momentum. Well, the corresponding momentum for the empty weight with oil is already given. That is 1652. Now for fuel, let's figure what that is. So look here on the fuel table, and we have 420, not this side, but this side has it. That's 315. So we'll write 315. Now for baggage, right? And if you notice, and now for baggage. Okay. The baggage is 65, so let's find that over here. So baggage will be over here somewhere. So looking at this, we have a problem because we have to do an interpolation here. Between 60 and 70 is 65 straight on. So we have to look for a number between 90 and 105. So we have to do some math. Let's scroll down here. So 90 plus 105 gives us 195, and we have to divide that by 2. After you divide that by 2, you get 97.5. So we can write that here, 97.5. All right, let's go up. Next one is passengers, aft position. So, all right, passengers aft position, that means in the back or in the rear. So we are not, it's not it's not given here. It goes beyond. So let's zoom up and see what the table says to that, what can assist us. So the key number here is they do give us an arm, which is great because all we have to do is multiply that multiply our number with the arm, and then it says then we should be good. So let's go ahead and do that and multiply it. Let's go down here. So the number we have is 245 times the arm here, which is 136. Now, if you noticed, because we are doing this math here, just like how we did for the empty weight, we have to divide this over 100, because just like how we did with the empty weight was over 100, likewise, I'm doing this, and because it's not in the chart, already given the chart, and we're doing this multiplication with the arm, we'll have to do that. And it says that clearly over here, right? Because it's not in the data chart, it says it right there. So that's how we know. Oops. So now after you do that, let's see, let's do this. So we have 245 times 136 gives us 3,320. And then we need to divide that, or it's over, divide by 100, and we get 333.2. So that is our answer there. Let's go up and put that there. So that is 333.2. Now the next one, go up, is our pilot and co-pilot. We have 375. So pilot and co-pilot will be sitting not in the rear, but they'll be sitting in the front. All right, so, and the aft, do they give us an arm for that? Let's see here. So we have 375. Yes, they do. The arm is 85 inches there. So same procedure here. So we have 375 times, what was it? 85 over 100 as indicated over there. So we have 375 times 85 equals 31,875. Just move the decimal place to 2 places, and that gives us 318.75. 318.75. $318.75. All right, so we have all our numbers. Now we can add. So when we add this column, we get 3,215. Next column, we have 2,716.45. Now, what do we do with this information? Now, we have to figure out, are we within the limits or not within the limits? How are we doing over here? So we need to find out what is the max limit of the aircraft. So the only, to determine that, we have to go over here. And it says right here, the max limit in pounds of the aircraft, not the moment, but the max is right here, 3,400. So that's our key number. So all we have to do is subtract this number from each other and take the absolute value, and that will be our answer. Oh, I don't know why I wrote that. 3,400. All right, so when we subtract those two numbers, 3,400 from 3,215, the absolute value is 185. So we're 185 below the max limit. So look under this, number A, 185 pounds under the allowable gross weight. So there we go. So the answer to number 58 is A. All right, so question 60, same thing as 58, I mean, question 59, same thing. So let's jot down all the data. We have, once again, we're gonna have our weight table and our moment table, right? And so let's calculate it. We have pilot and co-pilot, which is 400. That's great. We have passengers, which is 240. That's good, that can stay. Then we have baggage at 20. That's great. Once again, fuel, they're giving us 75 gallons. I'll just write that here, that's not good. We need to do our conversion factor, right? For each gallon, there's 6 pounds. So we have to do 75 times 6. 75 times 6 is 450. So let's put that there. 400. There's a lot of fours in this problem. 450. All right, and then the empty weight with oil is 2,000 and 2,110. All right. So looking at that, 450, 20, 240, yeah, we have everything, so we can add that. When we add it, we get 3,220. Technically, technically, we could solve the problem, but let's do everything in its entirety. All right, now the empty, let's get the moments. All right. So the moment for this one is going to be 1,652. All right, and let's try the fuel now. The fuel is 450. All right, so it is not given there, so we have to do our math for the fuel. So that's going to be 450 times 450 is given. Okay, great. I didn't see that. 338. So we saved a step. 330. Correct? 338. Okay, next. Baggage. Baggage is 20. Instead, given there, baggage. Great. That's 30. So we're good there. Baggage is a little high. Baggage is 30. Okay, passengers 240. Okay, passengers are in the rear. Is the answer given? Oh no, it's not. So we have to do some math. No problem. It's going to be 240 times 136 over 100 because that indicates us right there. Because this tells us to do that, all right? So we have 240 times 136 equals 32,640. We just move it 2 decimal places and we get 326.4. So that's 326.4. All right, and then the passenger, no, pilot and co-pilot, we have to do 400, which is 400. Is that given? Well, no, it's not. So we have to do the math since we're talking about the front seat, which is 85. So, so we have 400 times 85 over 100. So 4 times 85. I can't do math that way, can I? Yeah, 340. So that's going to be 340. Okay, now we can tally that up and we get 2,686.4. Now, are we within the correct realms here? Let us see. The previous problem, I didn't check the if it was technically within limits, but all right, let's see here. So 3,400 is the top number. So all we have to do is subtract that from this 3,400, right? And the absolute value of that is going to be 180. All right, so that's the first thing. But on the previous problem, I didn't check it, right? Now, all right, so that means we have 180, we can add it's 180 pounds less of back weight, which is great. But this, I didn't check this with the last problem, is this within limits? So the max number on that, let's see here, 2,684. Let's check that out. So let's say that's about 2,700. Let's just check to see if it exactly is within the limits. So that's 2,600 and so yeah, we are within, the center of gravity is within limits, right? What wouldn't be is 2,900. You can see that, right? Or 2,800, cutting close, right? But we're good over here. All right, so that concludes that. So the answer then is B. 180 pounds under gross weight. Center of gravity is located within. The previous problem was 2,716. So that would have been somewhere over here. As you can see, that's within limits as well. All right, so that concludes those. Let's move on to the next problem on page 60. Any numbers the same? Fuel's the same. Is it? Only fuel is the same, everything else is different. So let me see if I can. All right, so I'll have those numbers in because they're the same, right? The weight of the aircraft is 2 without oil is that, and the moment, and since the fuel was 75 gallons, after you do the math, 75 times 6, right? We get over, right? We get that. So let us continue. All right. First, pilot and co-pilot, 316 pounds. That's fine. We can write that. 316 pounds. Passengers. Oh, well, this is interesting. We have forward and aft position. So this is going to increase our column a little bit. No problem. So we have passengers forward and passengers aft. All right, no problem. Passengers forward is 130. Passengers aft is 147. And baggage is 50. All right, now we have to find the momentum of each one. All right, let's do baggage. Baggage is 50. Do we have a number for 50? Yes, 75. Good. Passengers. All right, let's do, all right, passengers aft. All right, passengers aft. And we have 147. Is that on there? No, it's not. But we have 150. 150 is, let's see here what it says. So 150, excuse me, I'm looking at the wrong number. So passengers aft. We have 147. Okay, great. So, and we have 147 and 155. That's 10 in between. So it looks like we are going to have to find the median between them. That's not a, that should be all right. So what we have is, and let me explain that. So when we look at here, our number falls in between these two, 145 and 165. All right, since we're 147. More specifically, falls in between these more or less. So we can, not sure what the book is saying, but we can find the average between those. So we have, as I said, 177 and 190, whatever that is, over 2. So 177 plus 170 equals 347. Divide by 2 equals 173. Oh, I made a mistake. I'm prone to making mistakes with small mathematical mistakes. This should be 190. Anyway, so we have 177 plus 190 equals 367 divided by 2. We have 183. Okay, that's the book has a higher number. Let's see what we can do to. Oh, I just realized what I did is unnecessary. I apologize. All what I did is unnecessary because all we have to do is multiply by the arm. So I hope you guys didn't make the same mistake as I did. So we have 147, and I was on a roll all this time. So we have 147 times, in this case, let's see here. We're talking about the aft. So we multiply by 136 over 100. That should give us our answer. Yes, that sounds better. Okay, that's 199.92, and that falls in line in between. All right, so that is 199.92. All right, so next is forward. So forward, we'll be working with this numbers instead, right? 111, not 180, not 136. So we have 130, right, times 111. So delete this. We have 130 times 111 over 100. That should give us our answer. 130 times 111 divided by 100 equals 144.3. 144.3. 144.3. Next we have pilot and co-pilot, and that is 316, and that's the front seat, so we multiply by 85. So 316 times 85 over 100, and that will be 316 times 316 times 85 equals a large number with the decimal place, 268.6, 268.6, 268.6. All right, now we can tally the sum for each one. So this would be 2677.82. This would be 3,203. Now let's see if we're within the realms. So that's 3,000. So we're good. Let's subtract from 3,400 to get the number 197, right? So this would be 197. And then this is 2677. Well, that is fine because that is below 700. So we're within and 197. So we're good. So that would be A. We are 197 pounds under allowable gross weight. Central gravity 83.6 inches aft of the datum. So we are good. So that concludes this section. We'll continue on to the next section. Oh, one thing more I forgot to mention, the datum. So how do we clear that up? I'll make this a little bit bigger. So you see it's 2,670. So this is 2,650. So we're about over here. All right. So if you notice, where does it intersect is the main question. So we drew that line. So we're within the limits, but the datum, what is the datum? So let me draw that line. So that is more or less here. All right. Hold on. It should be higher. Oh, maybe it should be right under 700. This line is a little thick. Maybe about there. No, not that. We are, hold on. We are 3,200. So let's do this datum properly. All right. So we're at 2,600 and over here. Right. You could do it this way as well with the chart. And then we're about 3,200 over here. So where they intersect is our, that's 83, almost 83. It's not 84. Now you don't have to do that as well. You can do an equation. So let's do that equation, right? Just as we learned in class. So that will be, oops. Let me circle. We have this into this, the moment into the weight, right? So we can, and that will give us our data. So we have, excuse me, it's, well, these two numbers. So we have 2,670.82 over 3,203, and this times 100, because we're doing the weight. Yes. Now, when you do the math, you also will be given a more exact number. So 2,677.82 divided by 3,203, Okay, we get a times 100, and we're given 83.6. All right, so that is one way of working out the problem. And so we get our answer, or the formula, which I should have told you initially, is in this case, is CG equals moment, which we have here, over weight. And because it's an extremely small number, and just like how we did with the empty weight data, it's be multiplied. So it's going to be all that. It's going to be that times 100. All right, so bear that in mind, that when you're finding the CG, you're finding moment, it's moment equals weight times distance. All right, now that's a proper answer. So now when we look at our options, A and C are the same thing. But when it came to the datum, 83.6 or 84.6, now we see why it's 83.6. You can do the mathematical equation, but you have this chart over here. You save yourself some math if you forget how to do it. And that concludes the session.